Hey guys, lightboltjoe here. Today we have a very interesting topic to review. How to be vegan, gay, and cool, and not a douchebag. This is coming from one of my very close friends, Jesse. He is really big into art right now because I helped spark his art interest flame the summer of last year with spray painting, and now he's been drawing like a monster, and he's awesome. And he decided to draw his own mock of a future review of mine, and here we are today. So he wanted me to give pointers on how to be vegan, how to be gay, and how to be cool and not a douchebag, because apparently I fit into all of that. Not a asshole kind of manner, which is great. It's really cool. So let's discuss about stereotypes on many fronts, but let's just be completely honest, right? These are authentic videos. We've talked about me coming out multiple times, so we all know this by now, right? That I prefer dudes over girls, right? It's common knowledge at this point. Okay, so what he's referencing of not being obnoxious, that's the best way to put it. It can fall into all fronts. On the vegan side, I don't go around screaming at the top of my lungs, I'm vegan! And I'm not one of those animal rights activists who, take blowhorns and posters and go rampaging through a steakhouse when these poor people are trying to enjoy dinner. And like, there was a thing on Facebook I saw like a month ago or something like that these animal rights nut jobs crashed a steakhouse, I don't know where, but the guy who owns the restaurant, he actually took out a whole thing of venison to butcher in the front window. And these activists are screaming and cursing, how dare you, this is murder. And like, he then grills it in front of them, and he sits down. And he takes a knife and fork, and he's cutting the meat, and he's eating it, and it was the funniest thing, bro. Like, that takes balls. That man is one of my... Not all heroes wear capes. And you're probably wondering, why the hell am I laughing about this man dissecting an animal and eating it? Meat is murder, right? I'm not that person. I am not that kind of vegan. There are many kinds of vegans. There are many kinds of gay dudes. There are many kinds of everyone, right? Just because you see one particular version of something doesn't mean that that's the only something, okay? So we're going to stick with the vegan stuff. We'll go to the gay stuff, literally, and then we'll talk about sometimes you have to be a douchebag, but you don't have to be a douchebag. Did you follow that? Right? Okay. I started this vegan diet, this vegan lifestyle, June 4th, 2017. Coming up on a year, actually, less than a month. I'm allergic to a lot of things, a lot. Stupid reactions, whether it's stomach stuff, whether it's stomach stuff, whether it's chest stuff, whether it's throat stuff. Asphyxiation's not fun, my dudes. It's really not. So I was so tired of reading labels on everything. Oh my God, does this have sunflower oil in it? Because my throat's going to close. Does this have pork in it? Because my stomach's going to just explode. Does this have avocado in it? Because my stomach's going to explode, etc., 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 right? So I was talking to this new friend of mine at the time. We met, when did we meet? His name's Nick. Shout out to my friend Nick. We met spring of last year, briefly, because we're both on the same, like, how the universe works wavelength, kind of. So we've had amazing conversations. We had a massive falling out at the end of July, but it's neither here nor there. We still talk art here and there. But he taught me how to spray paint, who is the reason why I then taught Jesse how to spray paint. Jesse's the one, like I said, who came up with this idea for me to talk right now about this subject. So Nick has been vegan for quite some time at this point, June of last year. So we go down to Venetian, which is the place I get my sea glass all the time, Venetian Shores. It is a beautiful bay beach covered in rocks next to an old sewage plant. Good old Long Island for ya, riddled with disease. So Nick and I go to the shore, we do some Reiki stuff, it was awesome, and like, we're talking about food intake and stuff, and he's like, you're allergic to a lot of things, your body chemistry is kind of whack right now, why don't you just try to go vegan for like a week or two and see what happens. You know, I guarantee you're going to feel better. And I was like, dude, like, I can't stop eating cheeseburgers. I can't stop eating pizza. And he's like, listen, like, I get it, but like, this is your health. So like, you should do it for yourself. And I was like, Now, Nick isn't the type of animal rights advocate who's going to go to the next puppy store and scream at people, how dare you buy a puppy when there's puppies in a shelter. That I agree with. Don't go to a puppy store to buy a $4,000 puppy who might die in a week because of the diseases at the puppy place. Go to the shelter and get a dog or a cat or a hamster. I don't know what they have at shelters these days. Go get a Stitch. All right? Where's my Stitch? My Stitch is on my couch. Lilo and Nani go to the shelter she borrows $4 to adopt the dog, who turns out to be Stitch, who's a koala on crack, and who's afraid of water, and will we talk about Lilo and Stitch one day? Let me tell you, for another time. The point being is that I was raised by a hunter. My dad hunts. My brother hunts. All three of my mom, my dad, my brother all have guns in the basement. All have permits, all have their trainings. I'm the only one in the family without a gun. I personally don't like guns. If I'm to kill someone, I'd rather do it with a knife. It's more personal that way, in a self-defense mode. Guns. I've shot guns. I've gone to gun ranges. Just not a fan. Just too much unnecessary power at my fingertips. Useless. If you need to defend yourself, fists, fingers, choke someone, hold certain pressure points, stab someone if you need to. I'm not advocating any of this. I'm just saying, in a self-defense mechanism, what's the point of a gun, man? Really? Like, dumb. But anyway, my dad hunts. So I am from an extremely poor household. And there were times growing up that the only meat that we had was whatever my dad could literally hunt. Turkey, squirrel, deer, right? So, like, I get it. Like, when people are poor, you need to figure out a way to eat. Because you need to eat to survive, right? I was taught, and this is pretty much the native mindset of animals, right? If you're going to kill an animal, you need to respect the animal. You need to use every part of the animal that you can. That's why I wear a leather jacket in the winter. That's why I wear leather shoes to work all the time. The cow's dying anyway, because it probably can't produce milk anymore, and they're probably just killing it for its meat, right? So then what are they going to do with the hide? They're going to make a couch out of it. They're going to make a bag out of it. They're going to make seats out of it. They're going to make shoes out of it. They're going to make clothes out of it. They're going to make pants out of it. They're going to make a jacket out of it. They're going to make hats out of it. They're going to make so many different things out of leather, right? Belts. I'm currently wearing a leather belt as we speak. You use the parts of the animal because the animal's already dead. This is you honoring the animal, right? I don't understand the concept of killing a mink for its fur, for a coat, if you're not going to eat the mink. If you're eating the animal and using the parts of the animal, I get it. Like, I understand that sacred native mindset. You honor and respect what you have taken from the land, okay? I understand that. That's why I'm never going to be protesting at a steakhouse. How dare you eat steak? The nerve of you. That's not cool, man. This goes to what the concept of this particular chunk is. How to be vegan and cool. Don't go screaming at someone, oh, you should not eat yogurt. Do you know what dairy does to you? Diabetes. No, like, everyone is allowed to eat what they want. If someone wants to kill themselves faster by eating animal products, go for it. But everyone digests things differently. Just because I have no interest in eating animal products anymore doesn't mean you have to stop eating animal products. Who am I to tell you to stop eating what you like to eat? I'm nobody. I'm literally nobody. If you want to drink that diet soda, drink that diet soda. It's pretty much embalming you, but drink the diet soda. If you want to eat a Reese's cup every day for 40 years, eat the Reese's cup for 40 years. Who cares? How is what you're eating affecting me at all? It's not. I am not the person to scream at you and say, this is morally incorrect. You are an embarrassment to society. How dare you eat animal products? That's pretentious. That's stupid. That is a lack of respect to your fellow Terrans. Just, no. So that's one aspect of how to be cool and vegan. Don't be a douchebag. I will eat what I need to eat for my own being because my body is different than your body. What works for your body has nothing to do with me. Just don't be a douche about it. Right? How to be vegan and cool. Awesome. One thing done. How to be gay and cool. Okay, so this one's a little tricky. Just like I explained that there's various versions of vegans. Oh my God, that was a triple V. Various versions of vegans. Mark the notebooks. Various versions of vegans. I expect paragraphs of the literary gold of various versions of vegans. Anyway, so we're going to go triple G. I'm not even going to attempt a triple G. Various versions of gays. Great Goliaths of gays? Who knows? So your stereotypical gay male, right? I can't speak on a lesbian front because I'm not a lesbian. I am not a female. I was not born female. I do not identify as female. My sex nor my gender is not female. My sex and my gender are both male, so I can identify as male. I am cisgendered in that aspect of I am associating male gender with the male genitalia that I was born with. Okay, so gender is different than sexuality. We've talked about this in previous videos. We don't have to get into it again. Your stereotypical gay man, right, this is where I can actually talk from, is always perceived as that flamboyant, prancing, overly dramatic Jack McFarlane character, right, from Will and Grace. And it's a great character. Jack is an amazing character. He's broken many boundaries over the last 20 years, but not every gay guy is Jack McFarlane. Some gay guys are Will. Some gay guys are Gus Kenworthy. Some gay guys are Adam Rippon. You know, these two beautiful Olympians, two different sides of that gay spectrum. One is extremely flamboyant and can dance his ass off. I'm talking about Adam. He's an extremely talented skater. He has more talent in his left pinky than I do in my entire body. Mad props to Adam. Awesome dude. Gus Kenworthy. Obsessed with Gus Kenworthy. He has that, you know, rugged, masculine bro, the gay bro aspect. We come to terms with this gay bro concept from Scream Queens when Nick Jonas played Boone, and he was pretending to be this gay bro, and that's what they refer to him as. Oh, that's my gay bro. That's my gay bro, my gay bro Boone. And it's a fun term, you know. You can be different kinds of gay. You don't have to, you know, fall in that mold of flamboyant, prancing, overly dramatic queen kind of thing. And if that's you, then that's great. As long as you're not a douchebag, then we won't have a problem. Just you be you and I be me. We'll all be a happy family. That was horrible. I apologize in advance. I'm dramatic, right? We know this from me expressing myself with my hands and my arms all the time. I'm very animated, but like that's my upbringing. You know, in the Italian household, you talk Italian sign language, and like that's just how you talk. It's interesting though that, for instance, we're going back to my friend Jesse, and I love Jesse. We'll have to sit down with Jesse one day and talk because he's awesome. I have 10 years on him, and who would have thought that I'd be such great friends with someone so much younger than me, but at the same time, on his end, who would have thought that he would be such great friends with someone 10 years older than him? You know? We're on that same mindset when it comes to certain things. Of course, I have multiple lifetimes ahead of him, multiple life experiences, but for instance, when Jesse, something happened at the job that we used to work with, and someone said something, and it came up that I was gay, and one of the first like weeks that Jesse and I were talking and working together, he was like, "You're not gay," and I was like, "No, but I am," and he's like, "But you're not like, you know, prancy," and I was like, "The word you're thinking of is flamboyant, and thank you," and he's like, "But I don't understand," and I was like, "Not every gay person talks like a girl from California. Not every gay person, you know, prances around, you know. I am my own me, and they are their own them. So, like, that's allowed. They're allowed to be them. I'm allowed to be me." And he's like, "Oh, all right." And then someone said something else, and they're like, "Yeah, and he's vegan." And Jesse looks at me, and he's like, "You're vegan too?" And he's like, "But you're not a douchebag." And I was like, "Thank you. It's a great compliment." And then I explained to him exactly what I just explained to you guys. That, you know, I'm allowed to eat what I want to eat, and you eat what you want to eat. We're allowed to have differences. We're not all supposed to think the same way. It's fine. So he was trying so hard to understand the difference between a flamboyant guy and a masculine guy, an effeminate male and a masculine male. How both could be homosexual, how both can date guys. So I explained to him exactly what I just said, that not everyone thinks the same way, not everyone perceives themselves the same way. There is a kind of not even a stereotype, but a stigma in the sense of gay is not a choice. This is true. Being gay is a very biological function, which we will get into. On a technical note, for biology purposes. But then on the choice aspect, you choose how you want to present yourself. You choose if you want to walk around in a miniskirt, and if you're male. And if you're comfortable, then that's great. You're comfortable. That's fantastic. If you're, walking around in a spaghetti strap, which is designed for girls, but you want to wear it, and you're male, and you're gay, and you're flamboyant, that's great. You be you. How is this affecting me at all? Just don't be an asshole. That's all I ask. You make sure that you are comfortable wearing whatever the hell you want. Perceiving yourself however the hell you want. Being in your own drag, presenting yourself to the world, as we've learned from RuPaul, right? Just be happy being you. Everyone comes into terms on their own. Everyone is allowed to question life. Everyone's allowed to figure out where they belong in this world. And I actually had this conversation at work today with one of my friends. That, yeah, I'm older. And I have multiple lifetimes ahead of some people, but everyone's allowed to question in their own time. Everyone's allowed to breathe, realize what they want, lightning in a bottle, and when the time is right, someday will happen, and that's great. It's magical, it's wonderful, singing is fantastic. Point being is, everyone's allowed to be themselves. You shouldn't hide behind a mask. What's the point? You'd only hurt yourself in the end, right? So I would hang out with Jesse a lot, and I'd go over his house a lot, and I'm not effeminate, right? So I'm not prancing around, and I'm not, wearing extremely tight-fitting clothes, or I'm not your stereotypical gay guy. I'm not Jack McFarlane's character. So one day, Jesse, in passing, told his parents that I'm gay, and they were like, no, he's not. And then Jesse's like, no, but he is, because I had many conversations with Jesse about it. And then his dad was like, wait, no, seriously, Joe's gay? And Jesse's like, yeah. And his dad turns to Jesse. I only know this because of how Jesse told the story. And he's like, man, I wish every gay guy was like Joe. Bro, when I heard that, I was dying. I'm honored that I am the poster child for how gay men should be, according to this particular friend's father. But at the same time, I don't want a stigma that, you should not like other gay males who are not like me. You should like all gay males for being their true open self. As long as they're not assholes to you, you should have no problem with them. Right? Very simple. So, on a biological standpoint, for those of you wondering why I keep referencing being a homosexual as a part of nature throughout many videos, right? On a biological standpoint, okay, I've worked at many hospitals. I know a crap ton about biology. Not an excessive amount, but a crap ton. I worked in an anatomy lab for an entire summer. I worked with these donated bodies for a very long time. I know some terms. I've seen the insides of people. I cannot go to wakes without laughing now because all I can smell is formaldehyde as soon as I walk into the room, and it's extremely awkward for everyone because why is Joe laughing in the corner when there's clearly a corpse in the coffin? Oh, that was another k-k-k sound. Anyway, so on a biological note, and humanity is the only animals, for some reason, that has an issue. Certain humans have an issue with homosexuality. If you're male, those of you who are male watching this, okay, everyone knows once you go through puberty, once you're after puberty, that erections happen out of nowhere, right? I could be thinking about an Oreo, and all of a sudden a tent is pitched, right? The fun little jokes on that. I'm not going to say the explicitive words. We're going to say erection. That is the proper biological term. Okay. So when blood flows to your member and an erection happens, it can catch you off guard. You can wake up with morning wood, that's a term. You can just be sitting on a beach looking at the waves and, well, you got an erection. Sometimes you're not in control of when the blood flows to that area, okay? So on an arousal aspect, if you're gay, if you're straight, if you're homosexual, if you're heterosexual, if you're any other sexual under that queer umbrella that we talked about, right? Because I'm technically demisexual, but it's hard to explain, whatever. When you are aroused, males or females, you feel this certain kind of feeling, right? And that's just your body's getting ready for some kind of activity, some kind of physical activity, whether it's with yourself, whether it's someone else. It's an arousal, right? Women feel the same arousal men feel. But with men, it's more visual because you can literally see when a male is aroused, okay? So when blood is going to that certain member and an erection happens, it's very natural. It's natural. So if you are heterosexual watching this and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I can't wait to, hang out with my girlfriend so we can have sex or something like that, because you know that you are attracted to that specific female and that's how you get aroused. You get an erection because of that opposite sex, right? That's just you. That's your prerogative. On a gay aspect, on a homosexual aspect, that's our prerogative. We get aroused the same way you get aroused, but on a same-sex level. So you can have an arousal with an opposite-sex partner, and then we can have arousal from a same-sex partner. It's just how the body works. You're not in control about what turns you on, what gets you aroused, what sparks your interest. It's just natural. It's natural. It's not a choice in the matter. When your erection happens, you do not have a choice. You can get erection by looking at a pizza for all I care. It's happened to me plenty of times. I am not in control of that. I'm just so happy that that's how my body reacts, right? So why is it that certain humans are super against same-sex couples, whether it's males and males or females and females, when every other damn animal in the animal kingdom has multiple forms of homosexuality and bisexuality? I just read an article about this blind bisexual goose who was raising a duckling family with his male goose partner. Random. There's gay lions and prides, there's gay elephants, there's gay tigers, there's gay birds. Who cares? Who cares? That is the biological function about who those particular animals, humans or animals, are attracted to, right? But look at this. We're having this conversation in a very scientific aspect, in a biological aspect. I'm not screaming at you saying, stop being a homophobe, you asinine bigot. And if you just said to yourself, oh my God, what does asinine bigot mean? That your intellect's not even there to comprehend what I just said. I have no problem with calling stupid people out. You need me to tell you that you're an idiot? I will gladly tell you that you're an idiot and you need to crack a book more often. I'm pointing this way because this is my bookshelf. Go on your phone, get a question, do your research. But don't just take one source, take many sources. Make sure you have the average of what things say. You can be gay and you can be cool. You can be vegan and you can be cool. You can be anything you want to be, as long as you're not a douchebag. Because if you're a douchebag, then no one's gonna like you. Which is contrary to every meme that we see about guys who are assholes and girls who are attracted to guys who are assholes. And I get it, it's that bad boy persona, but come on, how long is that gonna last, right? Eventually people are gonna get tired of you. And then what else are you going to fall back on? You've never been nice, so how are you going to, express yourself? Sometimes you do need to be a douchebag, though, because if someone is taking advantage of you, if you cannot say no, if you always give, and never receive anything kind of a thing, what kind of life is that? That friendship is a two-way street. If you are putting yourself out there for far too long and you're not getting anything in return, not specific sex, not specific money, an emotional something, right? Toxic. Cut them off. Say the hell with you. I've done it plenty of times. I've gotten rid of so many people because friendship is a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. Why am I working my ass off to make sure that we stay in touch, that we still talk, that we hang out, that we do this, that we do that, right? It's not my job. It's both of our jobs. I've never had a problem with making new friends, ever. I have a problem with keeping old friends. It's just how it is. But certain friends last many years, as we've seen through certain videos that I have posted about friend reviews. I have a friend review coming up with one of my best friends. I cannot wait to sit down and talk to him because it's going to be magical and beautiful and glorious, and I might cry, and I'm very excited. But my point is that I don't open up to many people, and if I'm opening up to someone, if I'm discussing something with someone, and we sit down and we have this beautiful moments, like, I expect to keep up with these beautiful moments, you know, like, everyone's allowed to question, everyone's allowed to come and say they're wrong, but if we're on the same page at one particular moment, and, like, we both are on that same mindset, and we're like, all right, well, we can do this, like, let's make this work, let's make this happen, let's stay friends, let's stay close, let's do this, let's do that. But then, like, yeah, things happen, life happens. We just have to learn to play with the cards that we're dealt, right? I've talked about this before, specifically with the movie Game Night. You're allowed to be you, but don't let someone take advantage of you for being you. You could be the nicest person you want to be, but if you're getting stressed, and if you're, like, tired of playing therapist, and you need to, like, collect yourself, and you're like, all right, I need someone to talk to, like, everyone keeps talking to me, like, why am I the one who needs to hear about everyone's life problems? What about my problems? Who's going to listen to me? For your mental health, just say no. Just say no. If you want to, like, just stay home and read a book one night and not go to hang out with a friend who you don't really want to see, just say no. This is one of those moments where I'm saying sometimes you have to be a douchebag. Sometimes you just have to say no. But in a classy way. Don't be the douchebag that ruins someone's dinner at a steakhouse. Don't be the douchebag who's a pretentious... Ugh, who's like, oh my god, you don't know Britney's new album? How do you say you're gay? That's just stupid. Don't be that pretentious gay guy. Nobody likes you. Don't be a douchebag. Please. For the sake of mankind, I beg of you. If you want to be vegan, be vegan. If you don't want to be vegan, don't be vegan. If you're gay, congratulations. Welcome to the club. We hold meetings every Sundays. I couldn't say it with a straight face, I'm sorry. I heard Ellen DeGeneres say that one day. It was hysterical. If you want to be any form of you that is beautiful, be that form of you that is beautiful, as long as you're not being a douchebag. I beg of you. Please be nice. Niceness is key, right? We all get along better that way. And thus concludes our conversation about how to be vegan and gay and cool and not a douchebag. Questions, comments, concerns? Please join in on the conversation, discussion down below. What's your stories about not being a douchebag? What's your stories about being a douchebag? I want to hear these things, all right? Join in on the conversation. I'm not alone in this. I'm well aware of that. Mucho mahalo, guys.